Hello again. This is Mike
And Mitch.
and we're here to play a game called Agree or Disagree. What questions are we asking?
So we're gonna say or read statements, common statements that we usually hear from movies or from anywhere, cliches. So we're gonna state our opinion if we agree or disagree.
Okay.
Okay. So without further ado, so we're just gonna pick and take turns to pick the statement.
Okay.
Okay. So we're gonna start. 1, 2, 3.
Oh yeah.
So okay, I'll start.
Yep.
Okay. First statement. Why is it so negative right away? Cheating is selfishness. Oh. Yeah. Why do you think it's selfishness? For me, I think it's selfishness because you're only thinking of your own happiness. Like by the definition of the word selfishness, you don't really care if you're hurting someone or if you you don't care how the other person would feel because you prioritize your own happiness. You agree?
I agree.
Okay. You want to add more?
No, that's what I was gonna say.
That's pretty much. Okay, your turn.
Happy wife, happy life.
Ready?
Happy wife.
1,
Happy life.
2. 1, 2, 3. Up, up. Oh, no copying. Even though I am a wife, I disagree because I just feel like it's unfair. Because if it's just all about the happiness of the wife, then how about the husband? So if the husband is not happy, then the relationship won't work. Right?
Right. And you can't really look outside for your own happiness.
Yeah,
It has to come from within first. You have to be happy within yourself,
right.
with your own state of being first. You
Yeah.
can't rely on someone else
That's true.
to make you happy.
Yeah, and to add to that, I just feel like it's so unfair for the partner because you're giving that weight or that responsibility, that big responsibility to your partner when it should be your own responsibility to make yourself happy. My turn?
Yeah.
Okay, why do you always go there? Just next, marrying your best friend guarantees a lasting marriage. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh. Okay, you wanna explain why? Because I always hear that from people, like, "Oh, you're so lucky because you married your best friend, so your relationship would be so easy." And so why do you disagree?
It's not. It doesn't guarantee.
Mm,
It doesn't guarantee that you'll have a successful marriage.
Why? Like you're friends, you know each other too well, so why? Why do you think?
I think it depends because maybe there's a false sense of security. Because if let's say you go into it thinking that everything will be okay, because,
So your expectations.
Yeah. So then expectations. So maybe your expectations will not the actual what is actually happening or
The reality.
the
of
reality.
marriage.
Yeah, the reality may not match the expectations.
Oh, yeah, I agree. And to add to that, I don't believe that when you marry your best friend, then it's a guarantee because some people they're just good for being best friends because the dynamics in like a friendship is so different from the dynamics of a marriage, right? Because like for friendship, um, there are a lot of things that married couple do that friends do not do, right? And there's like more expectation from your spouse because it's like more serious, and it's like the codependency is really expected more, right? Yeah. Wait, whose turn is it now?
Me. Okay. If you love the person, you should change for him or her.
1, 2, 3. Yeah. Disagree.
I
Because
disagree because you shouldn't change for someone, right? Just because you're not being your true self. So if you're changing just to please someone, somewhere down the line, it's not gonna work.
yeah, I agree.
There's gonna be resentments.
Yeah.
There's going to be conflicts.
Yeah.
So it's just not gonna work.
Yeah. Just to add, I think that like for minor things, you may, like, you know, if for instance, when it comes to like, let's say, tasks or household chores, like even if you used to not do things, then you start changing yourself to do some things to make the relationship work, but you shouldn't change your core, right? Because I feel like if you change your core and your core values, and you sacrifice the values that are so important to you, then you're gonna lose yourself. And when you lose yourself, just like what you said, you're gonna start resenting, and you're gonna start blaming your partner if you're every time you get dissatisfied in the relationship, because you feel like you've sacrificed a lot, like you've sacrificed yourself because you changed yourself for the relationship to work. But it won't really help the relationship, because if you have to change yourself to make the relationship work, then you're in the wrong relationship, right? Yeah, you shouldn't change your partner. Or if you want to change, it's because you want it. You know, some people change because they experience an awakening, or because they're improving, they're growing, right? That kind of change. But it shouldn't be like changing your personality totally just to please your partner, right? It should be your own. It should be your own self-development and growth, not to please the partner. Is it my turn?
Yep.
Okay, next. If you love the person, oh, wait, did you put it
Twice.
back?
No, it's right there. I think
Oh, is there?
it's the same thing.
Oh, it's the same. Okay, we're gonna change that later. Okay, next. Like, what are the odds that we, like you said it in accidentally? This one, this is very cliche. You complete me. This is from a movie. Okay,
Jerry
ready?
Maguire.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Disagree. I disagree because no one should complete you except yourself and God. Because I feel like if you want another person to complete you, then what if that person leaves, or what that person dies? So does that mean you're gonna die too? You're gonna lose yourself when that person leaves? So it should be your responsibility to complete yourself. And if you're not complete by yourself, then you cannot make a relationship work, because you're looking for that, you know, something to fill the void from outside. Again, like what Mike said earlier, you should not look for it from outside. It should be an internal thing. It should be like your own effort and your own like it should be, it should come from within, right? Uh you shouldn't be a better half, right? You shouldn't be a better half because you're not half. You should be a complete person.
You should be grounded already
Yeah.
within yourself.
Yeah.
You should be whole,
Mm-hmm.
not broken. Because if you are broken, like you said, or half,
Mm-hmm.
that's not who you fully are in terms of
Mm-hmm.
your own person.
Yeah.
So how can you really be, be part of a, like say for example, a couple that both of you,
Yeah.
it should be both of you who are both grounded within yourselves,
Yeah.
where you're contributing to
Yeah.
to the relationship.
Yeah. It should be a synergy. It's not 1 + 1 = 2. It should be 1 + 1 = 3.
Yeah.
Right? It should be a synergy. Because if you enter into a relationship and you're just half, you don't feel complete, then that's gonna be so toxic to your partner, because it's like you are sucking his, his energy and all that. So that's unfair. So no.
Okay. Love is always 50-50.
Yeah, I remember we discussed this before in February. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Okay, you explain why you agree. You explain.
Like my explanation in that
Particular statement.
particular statement is you're both contributing to the relationship,
Mm-hmm.
not 75%. Well, you're working towards that,
Mm-hmm.
because I think when you're in a relationship, maybe the percentages change
Mhm.
depending on your experiences.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be different.
Mm-hmm.
The goal is to both be contributing
Mm-hmm.
in the relationship, where it's beneficial for both.
For both.
For both.
For the relationship.
For the relationship.
Mhm.
Because if it's too much on on
From
one
one
side
side.
or the other, and it continues to be that, it may,
There's resentment on one side.
there's gonna be one side
Mhm.
because one's putting, let's say 80%,
Mhm.
and the other one's only putting 20%.
Mm-hmm.
I think it can start maybe that way because, again, like I said, who knows in terms of the experiences,
And you don't know each other
don't know each
too
other
well,
yet, right? So
and the other's expectations.
yeah, so the goal is to get where both are
To go to hit the balance, like
balance.
the equilibrium
Yeah.
of the relationship. Okay, I answered disagree because, like, though I agree with Mike, I agree through and through. But the reason why I disagreed is because it's not about it's not about the effort for me. I agree that the effort should be 50-50, but for me, it's not always 50-50 because of different situations. Like for us, for me, it's never gonna be, in terms of situation, it's never gonna be 50-50 because of the situation that, like, you had a previous marriage and you have 4 kids, and I don't have previous marriage and I don't have kids. So I feel like from the start, it's never fair when you talk about fair. But in a love relation, in a relation love, or what, in a marriage situation, love relationship is right, yeah. In a love relationship, that doesn't, it doesn't mean that when I say that it's never 50-50, I'm not saying that in a negative way. I'm just describing the situation that it's never 50-50 with us, because you're always gonna have 4 kids. And me, as of now, I don't have. Right? I don't have. It's like biologically I don't have. So it's never 50-50. It's never 50-50 for me because of the situation, and also because, like, here in Canada, you have your family here. I don't have a family here, right? So in terms of, like, the birthdays that you celebrate with family, you don't get to celebrate that with my family. but I get to celebrate with your family. So like we have a lot of there's a lot of factors that would never make us 50-50, right? So that's the reason why I disagree. But when it comes to effort, I believe that it should be 50-50. Effort should be 50-50. Because if not, then the other one would get exhausted like through time. Yeah. So yeah, so the reason why I disagree is because like in terms of fairness and equality, it's never gonna be equal. It's never gonna be fair. But that's okay because love would always what do you call it? It's like it would make up for it, right? Because love will always make up for it. So as long as I am happy with your
Conquers all.
no, I don't believe that either. But like as long as you fail my love tank, that unfairness and inequality would be little, right? As long as my love tank is full, right? Yeah. So that's why I disagreed. Okay, whose turn is it?
Mm,
Your turn?
I think that's yours because I'm the
Me.
one who I think I'm the one who picked that.
Okay. Next is marriage is hard. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Oh, I thought you were gonna answer three. Okay, I picked right, so I'm gonna explain first.
Yeah, okay.
I don't believe that marriage should be hard, but I believe that marriage is hard work. It shouldn't be hard because if marriage is hard, then why would you desire marriage? Why would you be in a committed relationship if it's hard in the first place? There are times that it would be hard, but because that's part of the relationship. Like you won't really appreciate the relationship that much, or you won't really experience that high level of happiness and satisfaction if you won't go through challenges. Because without challenges, without arguments and discussions, the relationship would be so boring and dead,
Mm-hmm.
right? So as long as there's fire in the relationship, you will keep like discussing, you will keep talking,
You keep working on it.
working on it. Yeah. And challenges are not always from the inside. You like some challenges would not come from inside the relationship, from the two of you. Sometimes challenges come from the people around us, or factors, environment, like like there's a lot of factors can affect the relationship, but as long as the two of you would always discuss it and fight for the relationship to work, like it's not really about just trying to find out who's right or wrong, but trying to look for solutions to make it work, right? So that's why it's hard work, because sometimes you have to talk about hard topics. Like, there are times that you don't want to talk about it because it's so painful and it's so awkward, but that is a requirement for any relationship, for any serious, committed, deep relationship. You have to talk about the hard stuff, right? So, yeah, that's why I believe it's hard work. But, like, yeah, you cannot just shove things under the rug, because that is very detrimental in the long run, because it's like you're piling up issues after issues, and then one day you're just gonna explode. And sometimes it's not repairable anymore because it has caused too much damage already, that it's like there's no turning back anymore. Yeah. So yeah, that's my reason. And yours?
Well, it's all your mindset again. If you think it's hard, then it's hard, and all your energies and everything is going to be coming up hard. Oh, this is hard. Marriage is hard because you think it's hard.
Yeah.
Right. But if you
Right.
if you believe that you're saying it's a work in progress.
Mhm.
It's 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 okay that it's it's okay to accept that there are challenges,
Mm-hmm.
there are things that you need to work on.
Mm-hmm.
That's different.
Yeah.
If you have that mindset that you're going to approach marriage in that way, where you're gonna it will require some effort. It will
Mm-hmm.
require you to do to communicate,
Yeah.
to have understanding. Then that's what it's all about. It's not
Yeah.
it's not as easily as cut and dried as
Yeah.
it's easier as hard.
Yeah, I agree. And I just want to add something. I think it's very important. I think the reason why some people find it, I say that marriage is hard because of their expectations. I think like the culprit really is the fairy tale concept of love, because a lot of people enter into marriage having really high expectations that's going to be happily ever after. That's why they say that it's hard because their expectations are so different from the real marriage, right? So I think
Mhm.
people need to manage expectations, and just so when they experience challenges, then they're not gonna complain right away because they embrace it, they welcome it because they're actually expecting that they would experience, you know? It's like you're not expecting, you're anticipating that something, something might happen or might,
Mhm.
come, and you don't really like you don't feel like it's hard right away because you know that it's normal, right? Yeah.
Okay, love without sex does not last.
I'm so happy you're the one who picked that.
Why?
Because just okay, agree, disagree. Ready? What again? Love without sex does not last. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. I know we don't have the same answer to this. I know that already. Okay, you explain. Or do you want me to answer? Okay, I'm gonna answer first just so it's not awkward for you. Okay, the reason why I disagree is because it's not my love language. It's not my first love language. And I understand his answer because that's his love language. So it really depends on the love language of the two of you. So if one of you if one of you has that love language, the physical, that involves sex, then you should have sex. Right? Because if you don't give that to the partner who has that love language, then that person would not feel loved. That person would feel neglected. But for the type of person like me, whose love language is acts of service, my first love language is acts of service, then I don't really need it to feel loved. Like, I'm okay with sex, but I don't really need it to feel loved. But with him, he needs it to feel loved because that's his love language. And there's nothing wrong about that because each person has a different love language. We're just wired differently. Each person is wired differently. And I'm not saying that because he's male, then automatically his love language is sex. That's not true because I know a lot of women whose love language is physical, right? I'm not like, you're not the first person. I'm not the I'm not the general the stereotype woman, because I have a lot of friends that they won't really feel loved if like their husband won't have sex with them. But me, if he wants to have sex with me, I'm fine as long as you give me lemon water every morning, as long as you give me food. If he does um like little acts of service, I'm happy. I feel loved. But with him, that doesn't suffice. That's not enough. Right? So I explain that because I know that he's uncomfortable explaining that.
When
I,
it comes to and like you mentioned, the love languages. So
Yeah.
we're referring to the five love
Five,
languages.
yeah.
I forgot now who wrote the
It's Gary.
book.
Gary Chapman or Thomas. I'm not sure about the last name, but because I have that book, so
So that's important. If you guys haven't heard of that,
yeah.
book,
That yeah.
that, and you're in a relationship, that's important because you'll be able to understand
Your
your
partner
partner's
really well.
yeah,
Yeah.
and how you can
Show your love
show your love and how
and receive love.
and receive love for
Yeah.
both.
For both.
And
Yeah.
if you understand, like what Michelle was saying, is that you need to, in order for the relationship to grow,
Mm-hmm.
you need to understand each other's and your own
Yeah.
languages of
Yeah.
love.
Yeah,
Right.
that's for me that's very crucial in like that's part of getting to know your partner really well because like you can't really move forward if you don't know each other that well. If you keep pleasing each other and not telling each other the truth, like what would make you happy or what would hurt you, if you don't express that to your partner, then you're gonna like arbor resentments. You're gonna keep hiding your pain, right? Because, well, can you blame your partner? Your partner doesn't know because your partner doesn't read minds. Or maybe your partner can read other people's but not you, you know? So it's always safe to express it to your partner no matter how hard it is and uncomfortable it is because that's part of working hard in the relationship. Wait, so who's next?
You.
Me?
Last one.
Last one. We just grew apart. Okay, I always hear this from people after breaking up. They're like, when you ask them, okay, what happened? Why did you break up? We just grew apart. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Okay. My explanation for that is I don't think that growing apart is the cause of the breakup. Growing apart is the manifestation that something was wrong in the relationship. Because you won't really grow apart if like nothing happened that's not good, right? I feel like saying that we just grew apart is a scapegoat reason just to make it, easy to just dismiss it. Oh, we just grew apart. But I don't really I don't believe that. Like that's BS for me. Because really, how would people grow apart if you're in an intimate relationship? By intimate, I'm not saying sexual relationship, but intimate when you're lovers, right? So you don't really grow apart just like that. There's always something, like maybe you're resenting, maybe there's something that your partner didn't do or did to you that hurt you. It's I think it's a combination of a lot of, maybe you're piling up some resentments and then you start to distance yourself, right? But it's never we just grew apart.
Yeah, something to piggyback on along what you're saying is something that wasn't what do you call it? Wasn't addressed.
Yeah.
There was something in the relationship. Whoever was in the relationship, something wasn't addressed, and then because it wasn't addressed, like you said, you already said it. Resentment. There's resentment, and then that is actually the cause. Not just we grew apart. It's
Yeah.
something happened in the relationship that wasn't communicated.
Yeah.
So, and that's where because of the lack of communication,
Yeah.
there's no, there's not the ability for both to
To resolve it.
to
Yeah.
bring it to light and
Yeah.
then find a
And
way.
discuss it.
Yes, they could resolve it
Yeah.
and then move forward.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So growing apart is for me the effect. It's not the cause.
Yeah.
Right? So it is an effect. So that's it. Oh, that's the last one, right?
That's it.
Okay, yeah. We survived.
Yeah. So
Okay.
that's our agree.
Agree or
Or
disagree. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you learned a little from us, like you got some insight. Those things that we mentioned, we actually, I think most of those we already talked about in our private times. because we talk a lot. We discuss a lot of, relationship issues and ideas, and like even movies and that we watch, and then we discuss it and relate it to our personal life. So yeah, I hope you've learned, and you can also, apply it in your own relationship. So I hope you like we're able to help you if you're going through something. Yeah, that's it.
All right, so don't forget to
Like and subscribe.
and we'll see
See
you
you in the next
next
one.
one.